morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here in icy West Virginia. The ice storm came through last night, and when I went out to pick up the paper from the mailbox this morning, I was slip sliding away down my sidewalk. So it's a little bit treacherous out there. School's been canceled. A lot of functions that are normally done on a Monday, like the trash pickup, have been delayed until the weather gets better. And we're sort of staying safe at home here because it's a little bit dangerous and treacherous to be out on the road. So all the plans that I had thought I would be completing today had to be adjusted, modified, and shifted, which is pretty much just the way it is. Life happens, as we all know, and you might as well smile about it because there's not too much else you can do except to get through it with as good grace as you possibly can. And this fits in really well with what I wanted to talk with you about today, which is the power of your smile and what it says in your journey to keep persisting until you get to where you want to go. There's an old saying that I think all of us have heard more than once. It's fake it till you make it. And I think sometimes keeping a smile on your face when the struggle is hard is one of the things that we often do. If you could try as much as you can to put a positive spin on things, it does help. Doesn't change the challenge, doesn't change the arduousness, doesn't change the hard work that you may have to be making, but in fact, it does help you try to, as best you can, get through it in a positive fashion. So as we look at our plan on persisting through time to get to where we want to be, and each of us have a variety of objectives that we are trying to achieve at any point in time, not just today particularly. Putting a smile on your face is helpful. You can always wear a smile. No matter what, you can always wear a smile. And, that facial expression really brightens up your eyes, the turn of your mouth turns upward, and you can express just with that one facial gesture pleasure, approval, delight, so many wonderful things. I love to smile. I love to share joy with other people. And that, again, is a way of sharing joy, is just to smile and let them know that you're glad they're in the world. One of the things that I found really helps me is in the morning when I get up, and I don't know about you, but when I get up, I don't always look my very best. Sometimes I'm a little disheveled. I have what my children and I always call Smurf hair when I wake up in the morning. There's usually one tuft of hair that's sticking up sort of like alfalfa's. And I have sort of a rumpled appearance, which is pretty much the case for a lot of us during the course of a day, especially upon rising after a good sound night's sleep. And I look into the bathroom mirror as I start to brush my teeth, and I have a ritual for brushing my teeth. I was always told as a little girl that you need to while you're brushing your teeth, you need to hum Jingle Bells twice to be sure that you brush your teeth long enough. And even though I am still adult, and have been for many, many years, I find myself when I start to brush my teeth humming that song. And I always smile when I do it because it brings back just a flood of memories about my life as a child and how much fun I had growing up in my little tiny town in the hills of West Virginia, and my family, my friends. I'm blessed with so many wonderful, happy memories that can enforce and enrich my life as I go about my days. And when I smile and I'm looking in the mirror as I'm brushing my teeth, I don't know if you do or not, with my Smurf hair and with the toothbrush in my mouth, but my brain feels happy. Uh, Endorphins are starting to be produced, and the neuron signals are transmitting into my facial muscles, so I even smile bigger. Uh, that's the start of a positive feedback loop for the day. That's the start of happiness. And my goodness, isn't it wonderful to, as much as you can, as often as you can, live in the happiness of the moment? I know so many of us, particularly during these challenging times, have had things that were unpleasant that we had to deal with and face, challenges that were tragic and life changing and upsetting. But there is always something you can do to make your heart a little bit happier and to try to help those around you be a little bit more happy as well, to sort of nurture their spirits and their souls to help them get through whatever it is. Anyway, when my brain feels happy, I smile. And when I smile, my brain even feels happier. So it's sort of a loop that you get into. If you go around as a Gumpy Gus all day long and reflect that to the world, it's going to really impact how you feel. So I thought it might be fun today for all of us to maybe work on something that I try to do every day, which is to focus on an affirmation for the day. Something positive that no matter how rough things get, I can call to mind and say to myself at any point in time, everything isn't terrible. There are good things in the world, and I'm going to do my best to focus on the good as I move forward in my journey. One thing I know, if I focus on the negative, I get really down in the dumps, and it's really hard for me to do much of anything positive. Just for starters, today, when it comes to happiness, I'm in my office today, as I am most days when I talk to you. And this is actually my three sons on the top shelf in different stages of their lives. There's a sort of old fashioned picture of the three of them. One day they had fun and went out and pretended to be cowboys. And one of them dressed up like Doc, another one dressed up like Wyatt Earp, and another one dressed up like a gambler. So they had really a good time in that picture. Then there's a picture of my dear friend Mary Reed, who, though she's left the earth, is still with me in my heart every single day. And then a picture of my boys when they came home for the holidays one time, and I asked them to please get cleaned up so their mom would have a nice picture of them to stick up on the mantle, and they did that for me. And there's a lot of stuff. There's some technical books on my bookshelf. There's some thumb books. I have Dr. Seuss up there because Dr. Seuss was quite a smart guy, and he taught all of us and my children through reading them stories and them through reading the stories to their children. Many, many things about living life with joy and happiness and dealing with events that come up in our lives. What I'd like to do is something new today to sort of focus us very, very quickly on how to write an affirmation of our own. So if you'll bear with me for a second, I am going to try my very best to move forward on this new technique that I've just learned and see if it works, and we'll move on from here. I hope you're seeing me on screen with a PowerPoint backdrop behind me. And I think attitude actually is so important to all of us every single day. And this cartoon to me really expressed it. There's a plus and minus sign, and the plus sign looks over at the minus sign and says to him, be positive. And the minus sign says, no. Well, don't we all know people that are that way? You know, some people always look at the glasses half full. Some of them look at it not only as half empty, but by now nearly all gone. And one of the things we have to always remember is what we think is very often what we become. And if we face the day in a negative fashion, chances are that's really the kind of day we're going to have. And that's not always so good. But it can be better if we just try to work at keeping a positive attitude and finding something good in the day, something that we can keep front of mind, something that we can post maybe on a mirror, on the dashboard of the car as you go to work, and something that we can repeat each time we see it as a reminder to focus on the good in each and every day, and to prioritize and do the things we may dislike doing most first, so that it's out of the way, and everything else from then on is much more pleasant. It's sort of that old adage, eat the frog first. And if you do that, there's not much worse that can happen to you the rest of the day. You've done the difficult thing. Now you can get on with enjoying your life. Affirmations, if you've never practiced writing them, need to always use first person. It is about, my affirmation is about me. That's first person. I this, my this, me this. It's not being selfish or self-centered. It's just, this is a call to action from me to me. It is, an affirmation is always positive. It should have some emotional charge to it, and it must help you stay in the moment so you don't get overwhelmed by everything that is pending, impinging on you, making demands on you, drawing you back, whatever. But it keeps you present, emotionally charged positively, and is just about you. So here's some examples. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to throw them up behind me to give you an idea of this, some of the things we can say. Again, I love and accept. I'm letting go. My health is improving. Eating to nourish yourself. Being positive that you can do something and saying, I can. There is, again, another adage. It seems like they're all flooding into my head today, these old sayings that I grew up with. And this one is, if you think you can or you think you cannot, you're absolutely correct. Because again, your mind is in charge, and it will, if you in fact tell your mind this, then that's what your mind believes. I am closer to my goal weight each and every day. That reminds me of my friend Gina. Gina's one of her affirmations, and she certainly is a lady that knows how to give affirmations. One of her favorites is, I will today be no heavier than I am. Today, I will be no heavier than I am right now, which means she is focusing on lighter days ahead, which is really a way of saying I am working on the best version of myself, and that she will keep focused on losing her weight. And she's grateful right now for the body she has and everything it allows her to do. How many of us appreciate our bodies and how hard they work to do everything we want them to do, no matter what shape they may be in? You may be critical of your body, but it got you here today in this moment in time, and it's doing the very, very best it knows how to do. Um, Again, yes, last week we talked about habits and how difficult it is to establish them, sustain them. But if you affirm the habits you're trying to create, and make sure these are positive new ones, you have a better likelihood of establishing them as a part of your everyday life. That you can live in a much more positive, healthy fashion. Um, I know some of you probably are looking at this one about loving exercise and thinking, what's up with that? I hate exercise. Well, if that's what you tell yourself, that's exactly how you'll feel. You may not necessarily be Leslie Sansoon ever, but you indeed may be able to enjoy what you do to move your body more and make yourself stronger and healthier. Uh, Making healthy food choices is another affirmation that you can make. Learning to cope with your feelings in a positive way. And the last two, I think many of us say, hopefully every day. I am taking off pounds sensibly, or I am keeping off pounds sensibly. A lot of chapters either begin or end their chapter meetings with the tops and COPS pledges. And these are meant to be affirmations to bring to mind the challenges we face, the obstacles we are overcoming, and our belief in our ability to cope. That is so important as we move through the journey. With that in mind, what I would like to suggest to you is that you now get out a pencil and a piece of paper, or if you're a really great typist, you can pull up the notebook program that your computer has, and you can jot this down. Write your own affirmation. You might not get it done in these couple of minutes we have, but sometime during the course of today, write an affirmation for yourself for this week. Make it in the first person. It has to be about you personally. Make it positive. Give it some emotional charge, and write it in the present moment. That said, here's one of my favorites. I am an intelligent person. Now, there's an affirmation. Imagine getting up with your toothbrush in hand, looking in your mirror, and looking at that person and smiling really big and saying, I am an intelligent person. How does that make you feel? Does that make you smile even bigger when you acknowledge that you're a pretty smart cookie and you've got this licked and you can figure out the things that are the biggest challenges and move forward through your life? I think so. But at any rate, start your sentence out with I am, I can, I love. Just make it very, very personal and repeat it throughout the course of the day. Jot it down on a Post-it note, maybe 2 or 3 of them, and stick them up in different places that you go to frequently that are within eye view around the house, so that it brings to mind the positive message you want to share with yourself throughout the day. And then all day long today, and each and every day this week, let's practice and practice and practice and repeat it. That's persisting. That's keeping after it. That's staying focused on the goal at hand. Say it aloud in front of the mirror as you start the day in the morning. Say it like you mean it, and repeat it at least twice a day. Once when you get up and once when you go to bed. What we think, remember, is what we become. And if we fill our minds with positive thoughts, we will be, I think, much more positive people about the challenge we have set for ourselves in living our healthiest life possible. Thanks so much for spending some time with me this morning. I always look forward to seeing and talking with all of you. It makes my day, and it certainly makes my week start out in a really good way. And in the spirit of accountability that Rick has challenged all of us to focus on with him during his journey to get healthier, I'm really proud to report that I managed by the skin of my teeth to eke out a quarter-pound loss. And I was talking about that with my weight recorder, and she said, "Well, Barbara, that's a stick of butter. You should be really, really happy with that." And I am. I am affirming the joy I feel in getting one more stick of butter removed. So I wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay safe out there. And if you're in West Virginia, be careful you don't slip on the ice because it's pretty slippery out there. I will talk to you later, and you have an awesome day. Bye for now.